and welcome. This is our Let's Talk video, and today we're going to do a trance session with my guide John, and he's going to be answering some questions. A couple of weeks ago I did put out on Facebook if anybody had any questions for him, so we had a few come back in and we've selected some for today. And it's a pleasure to say today I've got Amanda Bowden with me. She's a transitional coach. We're good friends, and you can't actually see her, but I will at the end of the video, when I edit it, put up a picture and her details. You'll be able to contact her. She's Cabran based, isn't it, Newport? So what I'll do now is I'll go down into trance, and the best thing would be is you can just wind it forwards rather than just sitting watching 5 minutes of me going into trance. And then when John comes forward, Amanda will ask questions and he will answer them. John is a bit of a talker, so Amanda might have to restrain him a bit, but we'll see how it goes. Okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
See you in a bit. Hello.
Hi John, you okay?
Yes, it wasn't too bad today, was it?
No.
Yes, it was quite quick. So welcome everybody. We've had a little bit of a rest for trance while Sharon the sitter has been doing some other projects, but I'm sure if you watch the Facebook pages you will be seeing what has been happening. And we thank Amanda for her time. A wonderful lady, very spiritual, knowledgeable, and has a lot of wonderful years ahead of her helping others. So we welcome questions as always, and the reason we like to do these sessions is because we want you to have the opportunity to talk to us celestial guides and have our take on things to help you with your earth journey. So we're not going to waste any time, are we, Amanda?
No, we're going to go straight in with questions.
I actually am aware of some of the questions because, as you probably realise, the sitter has seen them, but I will answer them from our point of view.
Cool.
To help the human journey.
Okay, so we got a question from Phil. At what point does spirit enter the body? Is it before birth?
The simple answer to that would be yes, it is before birth. But as usual, I shall give an explanation. So, when the human form is conceived with sperm meeting egg, there is a spark of divine life and creation starts. As the embryo grows in those early stages of life and gets to the point where it has fully, the cells have fully created the form that will then grow into the embryo and future being, that is when the soul connection and higher self connects to the human life. Now, what we want you to understand is the soul is a very high dimensional energy created from a reflection of the higher self being that is going to guide you from above, as you would understand it in your world, you think of as heaven, to through your life connecting with your guides. Now, this energy cannot come at full strength to this living being, because it would basically kill it. So it is filtered slowly. The creation, the spark of creation is made, the connection is made. As the embryo and the life grows and the brain develops and the heart and everything else that goes with it, the strength of the connection builds to a point where the balance is sustained with the life in the womb. And then the day of birth, it is strengthened because the embryo and the fetus, or the baby now as it's now formed, is connecting in a 3D energy, but has been in a cocoon of unconditional, of high energy while in the womb. So it comes out and hits the 3D reality, and at that point the balance of the soul is very key. The energy that we give to the body of that birth baby, because it has to be at a certain balance. So it's not just a case of, oh, here's the soul and off you go. Then as you grow through your life, the soul will strengthen, the connection will strengthen with the higher self, and it would be different for everybody depending on how your life is to unfold for you. Now, I want many of you, well, you watch this to think, when somebody says to you, say you were a 45-year-old man, and somebody says to you, how old do you feel inside? And you said 23. That would be the point that your soul has fully matured in strength. Some of you might say 16, somebody else might say 40. Could be to do with your spiritual path. But it will vary for everybody. That is my answer for that one.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Emma has a question as well. Do you reincarnate with the same loved ones you had on Earth?
Yes, you can, is the simple answer. But the more extended answer would be you can have many incarnations. You can have it with the same energies, which can be the combination of higher self or the human essence that goes back to what you'd understand as God source. It all is what is better for the bigger picture. Some energies, the essence of life, will choose to stay with the earth journey, reincarnating, relearning for many, many, many lives, depending on what they're learning from. But when we come to earth to learn through this incarnation program, we must be learning for the greater good of all. It must not just be for our benefit, it must be for the human that we are looking after and those surrounding them and your world. So it can vary, to be honest, and if you're learning specific things and it has not been fulfilled and we feel it would be beneficial to come back again, some of those energies that were with you, that were perhaps an uncle, a friend, even pets, may choose to come back and support you again.
Okay.
Or some might be replaced because they've got other things they wish to do. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It can vary. There will be others amongst us, perhaps more light beings from the collective, that will choose to have one earth experience, and that is purely so that you can and they will learn from that one experience, and then they might be then deciding, well, I'll be a higher self and support the soul, or I'll be a guide and I'll support another human. or what I learn here on earth is going to benefit me for some other teaching I'm going to be doing somewhere else. Because interestingly for you, for your knowledge, is that earth is used as a teaching tool in the universe. And unfortunately, a lot of it is how not to do it. So when humans cannot look after their planet and each other, and there's many centuries of that learning across earth. And then we also use I'm diverting, I know, but it's knowledge which will help. It's also the teachings of how we bring in awakenings and bring things in to try and help humanity see how they could be and how they could benefit from being kinder, more compassionate and supportive to the world around them. And then when we see the benefits of that, that is also used as teaching. So we all learn from each other in this universe. I've probably not answered the question because you know what I'm like, but hey.
No, you have.
Oh, that's good.
Give them more detail as well, thank you.
Good.
Okay, so Donna has asked, how does Spirit decide who to come back to?
So you mean when somebody's passed over?
I think so.
And yes, it sounds like it, doesn't it? So when the essence of life has left the body and it goes back to its source of creation, again, it's a balance. What is that human life here to learn that's been left behind? So say it's mother, daughter, mother has died. They will look at the daughter's journey. Now, can it be going to see a medium on a platform, and that medium brings through the evidence of the mother, be the spark for that person's life into spiritual understanding? Then yes, they will, the energy and the source of that essence will be brought back and will choose to come back to help. That's one reason. And if you speak to groups, spiritual groups and workshops, if you could get all of those people there, a lot of them get into spiritual way of understanding, connecting with guides through death, through the loss of somebody, because they want to know more. They want to know, are they out there? Is there life after death? They have so many questions to be answered, and quite often that is the spark. Also, illness can be a spark onto a spiritual path, and it is a test of strength to get over that grief or that illness, to find that strength to move forward and say, there's something else here, I'm going to explore it.
Thank you. B Bumble has a question too. How do people get to know their guides, and how is the best way to find out?
Right. So as you've probably realised by now from conversations with other people who is watching, is that guides are with you from day one of conception, and they will work with you for different reasons, like education, motherhood, healing, guiding you on your path, presenting options to you. Now, many thousands of, well, should we say millions on earth are unaware of this. They live in their cocoon of the 3D reality. They might have religion and understand there's more that way, but they still will not understand there's guides. You all have teams of guides. So you're saying your prayers, you're saying, can you help me? Your guide is desperately trying to help you. You've asked, you've set that intention. But of course many of you do not hear or see the signs. So the best thing for you then is to go to a spiritual teacher, a leader of knowledge. This can be done through groups, this can be done through workshops, this can be done through individual teachings. If you set that intention with your guides that you would like to communicate and feel your guides and have a greater understanding of your guides, how they work with you, you will be set in motion on that path. even though it is on your path to do that, what we look out for is for the human being to ignite inside somewhere and say, hey, there's more than just me. There's more than what I've been told in my life. I want to find out more. And that's how that spiritual growth happens, that development we're looking for. You're not going to have it handed on a plate to you, because you're here as humans to learn there's more. Once you start to learn there's more, and you have an understanding, you change the way you behave, you start to be more spiritual, more understanding, you teach this out to your children, the world will start to change, because the next generation will then have that understanding, then the next generation, and that's how humanity will evolve. So understanding how your guides work is very, very key to any spiritual development. Not all of you will feel your guides, not all of you will hear your guides and mind or voice around you. Sometimes they present themselves in colour. It is yet probably another video of this, but if the best way would be to find someone to help guide you through the understanding of what we are trying to do. And there's books on this as well, and may I plug a book while I'm here, Amanda? Magic of Spirit, Guided by Us, written through the sitter, is a very good book to help you understand this. I do like to do some advertising.
No, I'd agree, because I reread that current book.
Yes, and it really does help.
Yes, from a different perspective. Thank you. So I've got another question from Dave, and he wants to know, how do you know the difference between your own thoughts and guidance given to you from your guides?
Ah, right. So sort of following on from the last question in a way, isn't it? But a little bit deeper. So, you are a channeler.
Yeah.
Amanda's a channeler. The sitter's a channeler. So, how do you think they have managed to think, I'm not a complete loopball, and not managed to get locked up in an asylum, which would have happened many years ago on the earth plane, because not of the understanding that is now around? So what we say is trust. So you do the process I was saying in the last question. You find someone to get to know your guides' energies, and if you are to be a channeler or to communicate with them, it will mainly be in your thought process, in like a clairvoyant way. So clairvoyance, if you understand mediumship, is where you raise your energies, and the connection is a higher energy which connects with the consciousness of the guide. So you say, say Sharon has got a question. John, I'm going to the garden centre today. Shall I pick the red pot or the blue pot? I know it's silly, but that is simple, isn't it? My answer would be the blue pot, because it would go with her garden better. So the first answer back in your head in a word would be blue. If then your human side, ego side, has decided that you actually like the pink, or whatever colour you might fancy, you might ask the question again, because you don't trust that first answer. Do you see what I mean? So then you'll lose what your guide has said to you, because you'll go off into your own little thought process for the human mind. So when you ask us a more serious question, is this right for me, and it's something very specific for your path, and you just want no or yes, and we say the correct answer, that is the answer, and you have to trust it. How do you know that is right? If you question, you're never going to have that connection with your guides. It is a process that the human has to go through. It is a link with the inner soul, which we understand as intuition in your world. The trusting comes from here and the heart space. Yes, you're connecting through your high conscious source of mind, but you have an ethereal self, and it all connects. It's a gut feeling, the humans call it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the gut feeling. So the gut feeling is the intuition connected with soul, higher conscious and ethereal self, which is your body, beautiful multi-dimensional body, energy of the body. So if you're going to ask questions, I'd ask them in the silence. I would learn to sit in the energy with yourself, get to know your body as you sit, and then ask the question and accept the answer that comes in. Now, going a little bit deeper here, we work in the love and light. There are those energies which can take advantage of humans on earth. So you must always set the intention of what you'd understand in prayer and positive being, of unconditional love, energies only to be with you. Because even though we seem to have a lot of control in your lives, you are still free thinking. And if you choose to, say, do seance boards without any protection, invite darker energies to you, it's been your choice. We have to undo that work and make things better. We sometimes will try and stop things, but it's sometimes we have to let you experience the negative. So what I'd say to you again is find yourself a spiritual person of knowledge that's worked in the love and the light with guides for a period of time. Ask them to guide you through this process and build a inner trust and intuition. Now, you might sense when your guide is near, you could get a tingling or warmth or cold. You might experience that and then get the answer. So that's that trust of two things there. When I come in now to my sitter, she just knows I'm there. It's a knowing. But that's because over 5 or 6 years of earth time we have built that understanding with each other. We've built that trust. And she trusts me to do this session. She did do a prayer in her head before we started, as she always does. She set the intention to all be good. So intention is very key to trusting the path of the answer the guide will give you.
Oh, thank you. That's a good answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I've got a question that I've actually written down myself because it's quite interesting.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I wanted to share with everybody else.
Liven it up a bit.
Okay, so how can we help nurture our young star children, their gifts and who they are?
Oh, change your world. Where do I start? How long have we got? Oh, this is so hard for us because we've been through star children, rainbow children, crystal children. I would like to say to you, all your children are star children. Every child in this world is here to change this earth now. We have changed the way we look at things. We originally were bringing this higher energy children in, which has caused conflict of energies in the 3D reality and are now labelled as ADHD and so on and so on. Because they come in such a high vibration, they've had trouble living in the 3D reality and accepting this world. So they fight against it and they have had problems. And drugs have been given to try, because there's not been that spiritual understanding of these children. They've looked at it from a scientific point of view. And the drugs have been given to subdue their behaviour, which is were thought was to help them function in the 3D society. Now we've realised that backfired a bit for us, because that life that person was leading, that child, as they grew up, it would become hard for them to fit into a world where they would be accepted, because the world is not ready for some of those high ascension avatar souls we understand them as. So we actually have now rethought this, Amanda, for your understanding. All children of Earth are star beings. They all come from a source of creation. Some will be here obviously for higher levels of purpose, and some will be here to live what perhaps you would see as a more mundane life, but every single life has a purpose. Every single spark of life has a star purpose beyond Earth. So what we are doing now is we are bringing in higher energy, but we're waiting for that child to grow a bit more and develop with that spark of spiritual development, and that spark, yes, they see there's something else on this earth than what they're being told. And then we're learning to build that energy up as they move through their life, rather than it being a strong spark from day one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we have over the last 5 years, we have been looking at the way we approach this, because everything we are doing is to help humanity ascend. We don't want you to blow yourselves up, which is the way you were heading at the Second World War, and the way it's going now is Mother Earth is slowly being suffocated with pollution. And obviously there's still wars, so we've still got a long way to go. We learn, because you are an individual species, you are different to a lot of species out in the universe. We have to handle you and treat you differently. We learn from other places we've been of similar species. As I said, you are a subject for teaching already out in the universe. So whatever we learn from other places we try to bring here, and what we learn here we try to bring there, and it all intermixes and helps. So we are moving away from the individual names, if that makes sense. And your word star is correct. All children are going to be star children, but they'll all have different levels they're going to be here for. And the reason we've changed tactics as well is we want humans to realise that children are key to the future of humanity, and to be treated in a way that they can learn, develop themselves, learn their creativity, the science ones amongst them. The schools need to change. The education needs to change. These children need to meditate. They need to understand they can connect with their guides from a young age. Can you imagine a world like that? It'd be amazing. And you know children that would benefit from that, don't you?
Yeah.
As does this sitter. So these schools will become, in time, part of an education system. But because you are so formatted and regimented in the dots and everything's got to be crossed, in fitting in your 3D reality society at the moment as things are, it's going to be in the future, because it's not quite ready for it yet. You do have the Steiner schools, I understand, from having that experience in this human life. They are heading towards that, but they still have to have exam criterias you imagine your futuristic films where the children that were different go to a school and they can express their magic, their wizardry and all of that. It is similar, isn't it, is what we're looking for.
Like X-Men.
Yes. And then when those children get to, say, 16 as an example of an age, or in these schools we hope humanity will have one day, if they're a brilliant scientist, they will go off to a facility that will teach them that. If they are an artist, they will go there. If they want to be a mother, do you see what I mean? farmer or whatever, there would be no, you can't do this, no, you don't have the ability. Everything will be explored for the benefit of that individual child. And also in your future you will have less children. You will find that the world will average to one child each. Because we found this in many societies. It's not taking away the right of the beings to have more children. It is for the greater good of all that they learn that if they have one child, they can focus completely on that child. And many societies now in the universe make sure that child mixes with other, we call them younglings actually, mix with younglings, so that they can mix with their kind, but their focus is a lot more focused, and also it helps the planet's sources, food sources, if that makes sense, and environment. It is the future for humanity, for them to evolve. Some would see it as not evolving, but it is. And that's where you have to start having that clearer thinking, that greater understanding. You're not having your rights taken away. What is the best for all of us? What is the best for humanity? What is the best for that next child that's coming? Do you see what I mean? It's a bigger picture.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I think time might be up, my dear.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I look forward to the next session.
Brilliant. Thanks for giving us the answers, John.
I shall leave the building.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hello everybody. Oh, yeah, so interesting from the trance point of view. When John steps back, it's like everything just suddenly comes into me. Like I'm back in my room, I think, oh, there's traffic and whatever. So yeah, and I always feel a little bit dazed. How long was that? Oh, because he came out, he stopped it. Yeah. So yeah, I have some awareness, but once he starts talking, everything just goes. It's literally like as soon as that connection's made, gone.
Cool.
Well, so thank you, Amanda.
No problem.
Yeah. Do you want to have a quick say about yourself, or should we just put it on the video?
Hi, my name's Amanda Bowden. I'm a transitional NLP coach, and I'm the creator of Master Miracle Manifestor, which helps people to navigate through the conscious evolution that we're going through right now. And
she's brilliant.
And the founder of astrology as well, which is bridging science, psychology, and spirituality all under one umbrella. So, yeah, that's me.
Cool, thank you. Well, thank you all for listening to this Let's Talk video, and I'll see you again on the next one. All take care. Love and light. Thank you.